Hello, welcome to BBC News. I'm Victoria Derbyshire. These are the latest headlines in the UK and around the world. Boris Johnson's currently meeting his top team, and they're expected not to impose any further COVID restrictions in England. That's despite the current high levels of infection. Comes as the health service is under increasing strain from COVID. More trusts in England declare critical incidents, and 17 hospitals in Greater Manchester put some non-urgent surgery on hold. The government's finalising plans to drop the requirement in England that people who test positive on a lateral flow should get a PCR to confirm it.
The teams are looking at testing and testing regimes. As I say, we've introduced so many lateral flow tests now that people are, and they're very accurate, the lateral flow tests.
What do you think of that idea? Do let me know at Vic Derbyshire on Instagram or Twitter, or email victoria@bbc.co.uk. Scotland's First Minister Nicola Sturgeon is due to address Parliament later as COVID cases continue to rise. People in Australia are angry after tennis star Novak Djokovic is allowed to enter the country without a confirmed COVID vaccination. The Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, says the player will be on the next plane home if he can't provide evidence of a medical exemption. President Macron warns he intends to make life difficult for people in France who haven't been vaccinated. Police in Kazakhstan used tear gas and stun grenades to stop a wave of protests over rising fuel prices. 200 people have been arrested and dozens have been injured. And a judge in New York is considering whether to dismiss a civil case accusing Prince Andrew of sexual assault. The judge has said he'll reveal his decision pretty soon. Hello and welcome if you're watching in the UK or around the world. UK government ministers are meeting to consider changing the rules on COVID tests in England to ease staffing shortages by reducing self-isolation periods. The Prime Minister will ask his cabinet to back his decision not to impose any further COVID restrictions in England, despite soaring levels of infection. Last night, Boris Johnson said he hopes the country could ride out the current wave, but accepted that parts of the NHS would feel overwhelmed. It comes as a string of hospital trusts in England have declared critical incidents. In Scotland, Nicola Sturgeon's expected to announce whether she will be cutting self-isolation time for those testing positive from 10 days, as the Scottish Parliament holds a special virtual session. The French president has caused controversy by using a slang term to annoy unvaccinated people in France into getting jabbed. And amid fury in Australia, Prime Minister Scott Morrison has said Novak Djokovic would be on the next plane home if reasons for him being exempted from having a COVID vaccine were insufficient. The first of our reports from John Donnison is about the pressures facing the NHS here in the UK.